What if I told you that 3 very common vitamins, ones most people already know about, could be quietly working against your blood sugar right now, simply because you're not getting enough of them? And here's the part that might surprise you most: your doctor may never have mentioned this. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which 3 vitamins matter most for diabetics over 60, why they work, and most importantly, how to actually use them starting today. But first, quick question. Have you been eating well, taking your medication, and still watching your A1C creep up? If that sounds familiar, keep watching, because there may be a missing piece your routine is desperately lacking. Now, before we dive in, I want you to understand something that most people don't realize about diabetes and aging. When you're over 60, your body doesn't absorb nutrients the same way it did at 40. Your digestive system slows down. Your kidneys work differently. And many common diabetes medications, yes, including metformin, actually deplete certain vitamins from your body over time. So even if you're eating a balanced diet, you may still be running low on the exact nutrients your cells need to manage blood sugar properly. That's not your fault. That's just biology. And that's exactly why this information matters so much. So let's start with number 3, and I promise, this one is going to surprise a lot of you. Vitamin number 3 is vitamin B12. Now I know what you're thinking: B12. That's just for energy. And yes, B12 does support your energy levels. But here's what most people don't know: B12 plays a direct role in nerve function, and people with diabetes are already at high risk for nerve damage, what doctors call diabetic neuropathy. That tingling in your feet. That numbness in your hands. Low B12 could be making it significantly worse. In fact, a landmark study published in the Journal of Diabetes Care found that long-term metformin use, taken by millions of older diabetics, reduces B12 absorption by up to 30%. 30%. That means if you've been on metformin for 5 or more years, there's a very real chance your B12 levels are dangerously low right now. But here's where it connects directly to blood sugar. B12 deficiency has been linked to increased insulin resistance. When your nerve signals are impaired and your cells aren't communicating properly, your body struggles to use insulin efficiently. It's a slow, quiet cycle, and most people don't catch it until real damage has been done. So what do you do? First, ask your doctor to test your B12 levels at your next visit. Specifically ask for a methylmalonic acid test, which is more accurate than a standard B12 blood test. Foods rich in B12 include salmon, eggs, beef liver, and dairy. If you're vegetarian or vegan, a supplement becomes almost essential. Look for methylcobalamin. That's the form your body uses most easily, at a dose your doctor recommends based on your levels. And here's something I want you to hold on to as we move forward: getting enough B12 won't just support your blood sugar. It protects your brain, your mood, and your ability to stay sharp and independent as you age. So this one vitamin is doing triple duty. Now, the next vitamin on our list is one that researchers are calling the hidden epidemic among diabetics, and the numbers are staggering. Vitamin number 2 is vitamin D. And I need you to pay close attention here, because the research on this one has exploded in recent years. Studies consistently show that up to 80% of people with type 2 diabetes are deficient in vitamin D, 80%. That is not a coincidence. That is a connection. Here's how it works. Vitamin D acts almost like a hormone in your body. It helps regulate the cells in your pancreas, specifically the beta cells, that produce insulin. When your vitamin D is low, those beta cells don't function as efficiently. Your body produces less insulin, or uses it less effectively, and your blood sugar rises as a result. A large meta-analysis published in the European Journal of Endocrinology found that people who corrected their vitamin D deficiency saw significant improvements in fasting blood glucose and A1C levels over time. And here's a detail that hits close to home for many seniors: As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. So even if you spend time outdoors, which is wonderful and I encourage you to, you may still not be making enough. People with darker skin tones are at even higher risk of deficiency. So what's the solution? Get your vitamin D level tested. Ask for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. The sweet spot for most diabetics is between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. Fatty fish like mackerel and sardines, egg yolks, and fortified dairy products can help boost your levels through food. But for most older adults, a supplement of 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, paired with vitamin K2 to help it absorb properly, is what actually moves the needle. Always confirm the right dose with your doctor. Now here's something I want you to think about before we reveal number 1. We've talked about a vitamin that protects your nerves and fights insulin resistance. We've talked about one that literally helps your pancreas do its job. So what could possibly top those? What's the one vitamin that works on blood sugar so directly that some researchers are calling it as powerful as certain medications? You're about to find out. The number 1 essential vitamin for diabetics is magnesium, and before you say, that's a mineral, not a vitamin, you're right, technically. But magnesium is so critical to blood sugar control that it belongs at the top of this list regardless of category. And here's the jaw-dropping fact. Over 50% of people with type 2 diabetes are deficient in magnesium. And most of them have no idea. Here's why this matters so much. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body, and at least 3 of those reactions directly control how your cells respond to insulin. Without enough magnesium, insulin receptors on your cells stop working properly. Your cells become resistant to insulin's signal. Blood sugar stays elevated. Your pancreas works harder. And your A1C climbs, even when you're doing everything else right. A landmark study in the journal Diabetes Care found that higher magnesium intake was associated with a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes in the first place. And in those already diagnosed, correcting magnesium deficiency improved insulin sensitivity measurably within just 16 weeks. Now here's what makes this even more urgent for seniors. Magnesium is excreted through urine, and high blood sugar causes frequent urination. So the higher your blood sugar, the more magnesium you lose. It's a brutal cycle, and it self-reinforces unless you actively correct it. Foods high in magnesium include pumpkin seeds, spinach, black beans, almonds, and dark chocolate. Yes, you heard that right. For supplementation, magnesium glycinate is the gentlest form on your stomach and absorbs beautifully. Most adults benefit from 200 to 400 milligrams per day, but as always, confirm with your healthcare provider, especially if you have kidney concerns. Now let's bring this all together, because here's the bigger picture I want you to walk away with. Managing diabetes isn't just about avoiding sugar or taking your medication on time. It's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to heal, regulate, and function. B12 protects your nerves and fights insulin resistance. Vitamin D supports your pancreas and improves glucose metabolism. Magnesium makes your cells actually respond to insulin the way they should. These 3 work as a team. And the beautiful thing? They are not dangerous, they are not exotic, and they are not expensive. They are foundational. And for many seniors watching this right now, getting these levels corrected could be the single most important step you take this year for your blood sugar and your overall health. So here's your action plan starting this week. Write down B12, vitamin D, and magnesium. At your next doctor's appointment, ask for blood tests for all 3. Start incorporating the foods we mentioned. And have an honest conversation with your doctor about supplementation. If this video opened your eyes to something new, please share it with someone you love who's managing diabetes, because this information could genuinely change the quality of their life. And if you want to learn about the top foods that naturally lower A1C without medication, that video is coming up next. I'll see you there.